My name is KAYLA,
KAYLA, where did we meet?
Smoothie King. My job.
Right. And how long have you been working there?
I've actually started working there at 16, just for like not even a year there. Stopped working there because I went back to Georgia, came back here, and I've been working there for a couple of months now, on and off. It's really just a fill-in kind of job.
Couple of months now.
Yeah.
Now, where you said you moved there from Georgia?
I moved from Georgia to Austin whenever I was 16 years old.
Gotcha.
So what brought me here was finding my biological father. I had gotten kicked out at my old house at 16 over crazy reasons. Um, and then came here. Turned out my dad was more like bipolar, not very, great to live with, physically abusive, mentally abusive. So I kind of got out of the house many different times, slept under bridges, like, couch hopped.
You slept under bridges at 16?
Actually, more around the 16, 17 area, but yeah.
Wow.
Because at 16, at that first little stage, I put up with it, but it started getting really bad. I don't know how to keep my mouth closed a lot of times whenever someone's saying something to me that's just not nice. That's why your mom left you for drugs, that's why, nobody loves you. You're a mess. Like he's a drunk and he is mentally and physically abusive. So whenever he, started like kind of getting physical, that's whenever I would leave. And I would either be able to go to a friend's house or just literally go over to Barton Springs and kind of make friends with people there and say, hey, can I crash on your couch tonight? Not even knowing the person. And that's honestly what I'm kind of really doing right now because I haven't gotten my life straight over these few years. It's been really hard. Um, I'm staying with a guy I barely know. I met him just a few months ago, but I think he's nice. We're not really getting along right now, but he's still willing to let me like stay on his couch and everything. And yeah, I have a move-in date for my first apartment at the 28th of this month. So
Wow.
yeah,
Congratulations.
thank you.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
And I see you in real time working.
Mhm.
And your current circumstance, well, let me ask you this before we go there. How was your dad, like how, your dad being that way?
My dad, what?
When you moved in with your dad when you're 16, and your dad being that way, how has that affected you, KAYLA?
It has affected me negatively but also positively. It's made me get on my own 2 feet a lot stronger because just a kind of a background in my old life in Georgia, I grew up with more of a materialistic family and I was the adopted one. So I was like the odd one out. I was like in this hopeless perspective. I was in this, kind of like, I can't wait to be 18. I need to start working, get out of here when I can. So I started working at 10 years old and I didn't save up my money. I spent it on food, this, that, the third. So I didn't really do what I planned to do. But anyways, coming from that perspective of one half of me that's like hopeless, trying to distract myself throughout this life, and one half of me that's like, no, get it together. This life is so much more than this. We can get it together. And I've really come to step into that part of me recently and like to get it together. Like, this is so much more. I'm not going to distract myself with Netflix, drugs, alcohol, weed, cigarettes. I quit smoking.
Now, KAYLA, just to touch on the circumstance you're in, you're currently staying at a home with a man you don't really know.
Mm-hmm.
Does he make you do favors?
Uh, no, like I just help clean around the house. We had a little bit of a weird relationship there at first. Like we were a little bit more than friends. And then I decided like, I don't like that. So I kind of stopped and then there's friction in between us. So it's really weird being there now. Really weird.
Because he's still expecting that?
Seems like so, but he also like has more of an attitude now that that's not happening. You know,
How does that make you feel?
it makes me feel unwanted. It makes me feel uncomfortable, but almost like I just got to bide my tongue and stay away from the house as much as I can and just crash there on the couch at night. And move-in date is in what, 10 days? Less?
And KAYLA, you're dealing with all this and you're currently pregnant?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I am 5 months pregnant and I just know that I gotta get it together, really. Now's the time. No more stalling, no more distracting. That perspective that I was in because of the family I grew up in, I just, that's why I stalled, that's why I distracted. But now it's kind of like I pulled myself out of that hole. And my dad really, that's what I was trying to get to earlier. I forgot. My dad pulled me out of that. Like he negatively affected me, but the positive is he pulled me out of that because it's like he pushed me. I just needed that big push to get back out of that negative mindset that I was in.
Victim mindset.
Victim mentality, yeah. You got to do it. You got to do it yourself. You got to show up. You do wrong, you got to admit it, take up,
And you're making your steps to better your situation.
Exactly,
which, yeah. KAYLA, I highly respect.
Mm-hmm.
20 years old, out here in Austin all alone, pregnant 5 months, staying at some random guy's house, and you're still working, you're still making it through.
Mm-hmm.
That's very impressive, KAYLA. Mm-hmm. Like you're a soldier.
Thank you. And I have family. And I've tried to go back to them in Georgia, but they deny me. I went all the way back there and asked at the doorstep. They deny me, knowing I would have to sleep outside that night, knowing that I didn't have a next meal to eat. Just no, go away. You're over 18. You're on your own. And I'm like, get that in a way, but I'm also like, what is family for? They're family by blood, but not really, because they're still distant family. They adopted me, but we're not too close.
Your family didn't want anything to do with you at 20 years old?
No, they do not. They kind of act like it, but when it comes to help.
You showed up at their doorstep and they turned you away?
Yes. And they'll help every now and then about like, hey, I haven't eaten in days. Can you please send me like $10? And they'll do that. But then I had to pay it back, So I'm actually waiting to pay her back right now. So.
KAYLA, someone's going to see this somewhere in the world and they're going to think to themselves, how are you surviving right now? How are you keeping, a positive outlook? How are you staying strong?
A lot of times I feel like I'm going crazy, but I still stay in that attitude of like, okay, we got it. We're going to get this. It's really just comes down to like praying, help me have faith again. Help me be able to get through this. If I don't know where I'm sleeping that night, or if I don't know where I'm eating, or if I feel like a victim, like, oh, I'm pregnant and I'm hungry and I can't eat right now, then it's like, okay, well, I'm just going to pray. And God always delivers no matter what, whether it's through people, whether it's just through circumstances. So I know that since a young age, I knew this life is going to be hard. I'm going to be on my own. I knew how my family was. They told me I was going to be on my own. So I was like, but we've got this. Let's hold on to the good memories. We've got this.
KAYLA, what can we do to help your circumstance?
Right now, biggest thing is guidance on just like, if you have any resources, what can I do to give my baby a better future? Where can I get free diapers? This is the things I haven't figured out yet. Where can I find more food pantries? And just all the things that I'm unaware of, those things that can help me in this life, really. And I tried to start a GoFundMe, but like that doesn't really get out there. And I don't know if it's really money that'll help me right now. Obviously, I'm kind of scrounging for the pennies, using a new credit card just to get first month's rent done at this new place. So money seems that it will help, but I think that there's better things out there than just money.
If we wanted to help your circumstance, say someone sees this with, a really good amount of resources, and they see something in you that they want to, help or donate to. Do you have like an email we could find you at?
Yeah, I do. It's my name, KAYLA Standring. So KAYLA Standring, like stand and ring, STANDRING 123 at gmail.com.
KAYLA, I really appreciate you sharing your message. My question for you is it okay if we, remain in contact so I could follow you through your journey?
Yeah.
And maybe help, get you reconnected and do follow-up interviews?
Yeah, I would love that.
Awesome. Now, you said your childhood was rough,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah, very.
Why do you think that was?
I didn't know my dad. Met him at 16. As soon as I met him, that's when I moved in. My mother left it whenever I was like 9 years old. She was schizophrenic. From a car crash we were both in. And ever since then, that's just left a hole in me since she left. Like, she was my friend. She was my best friend, but she's just unaware. She's that crazy, you know? What had happened whenever I was 6 weeks old, we were in the car in Arizona, Tucson, Arizona. We were, you know how it's flat. We were going across a red light, 18-wheeler didn't stop at his red light, hit us in the side of the car, and our car went flipping. The airbags didn't come out, they didn't deploy, so her head hit the steering wheel, her brain shifted forwards, and then it bounced back. So all of that got scraped up in her brain. She went into a coma, and they said that if she wakes up, she'll have to relearn everything from scratch, and that she'll definitely have mental problems. I, on the other hand, was not buckled in right. And at 6 weeks old, that's horrible. She was on drugs. She was a drug addict. So I hit my head on the armrest of the car seat. My car seat was front facing, not facing the other way like it's supposed to at that young age. So when I hit my head, it gave me a TBI, traumatic brain injury. So it affected my short-term memory, being able to focus, being able to comprehend things. They knew it would be harder for me throughout this life just in general. So just from the start, it's harder for me to get through this life internally, heightens my emotions. It sometimes I just have just trouble with concentrating, you know, just on basic things. I have to work harder to get to things people don't have to work nearly as hard to get to, you know, and there's much more about it that I could go on and on about, but it does make this life more difficult in a way.
Sure. I don't have very much experience in that, but you know, that's real. Mental illness is real.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just curious to know you're able to say all these traumatic things, and it's almost like you're desensitized.
What desensitized? Remind me. I'm like, that's actually something. I know what that means, but that's actually something about it. It's kind of funny right after. Like, I need to be reminded of things I already know.
Sure. Desensitized means like it doesn't even, you know, it's like you've seen it so much
Mm-hmm.
that it's normal.
Yeah.
But you talking about these traumatic things, most men would cry. I've seen
Mm-hmm.
most men cry, you know, talking about traumatic things. And it's like you don't even